Hey everybody, it's me. It's Lenora from It's a New Dawn. I'm really happy to be here. I've been podcasting almost every day. People have just been DMing me and writing to me, so I've been really honored, and I want to keep this going. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to take me, but every time I meditate, I come up with something else. And today it was just, well, I already said this, but hashtag time to tell your story. And everybody has a story, and every story is important, every single one. So I want to give you all a chance to come on here if you want to, and I will talk about that more on a TikTok post, but I'm really excited about it. Anyway, today I have the privilege of sitting down with a gentleman named Tim Fox. His TikTok is called Strongmanstorytelling, correct? Strongmanstorytelling.
Yeah.
And what drew me to him was, okay, he's strong. Obviously he's strong. He does things like bending metal and doing crazy things. I think now he's like pulling a plane or something. You're doing something with the plane. But that's not really what drew me to him. It was that strong man storytelling. And what I think that means, and you'll explain this, is that he goes to schools and he works with kids, and we talk about adversities and overcoming them. He had said to me, you know what, Lenore, I don't really have that many adversities, but whatever, that doesn't matter. What he's doing now to help other children feel strong and empowered is going to help the next generation, which somebody coming from bulimia and having issues with body image my whole life, that meant so much to me, that you are empowering these children with strength, and making it a great thing to be strong. You know what I mean? So that's what drew me to him. Okay, he has over 262,000 followers, but you know what? He's very humble. He writes to me back. He answers my questions. Oh my God, this guy is great. So anyway, I'm going to turn the camera over to you, Tim Fox. Take it away.
Okay. It's really great to be here, and I'll tell you a little story about how I got into old-time strongman. So old-time strongman differs from other parts of physical culture in that you're doing these old-time feats of strength. So these feats of strength were over 100 years ago, some of them. So tearing cards, tearing phone books, bending steel bars, bending horseshoes, frying pans, those kind of things, taking a nail and putting it in your hand and driving it through a wooden board. But these feats of strength are used as a vehicle to get your message across. And I was introduced to this from Dennis Rogers. He's in Houston, Texas. And Dennis is really the greatest performing strongman of all time. So I've competed in strongman before. So that's where you see him lifting the stones and flipping tires and pulling planes and semi-trucks and whatnot. However, this is different. It's more of a performance art or a performing art. So you get up in front of a group of people and you do your feats of strength to get their attention, and then you give them a really good message. So it's more of a vehicle to get your message across, and it's a great thing. So I was introduced to Dennis Rogers in 2007, and really online. I bought all of his DVDs on how to bend odd objects like hammers, wrenches, things of that nature. So I bought all of his DVDs, and then he did a coaching program online, and I joined that, and I met other old-time strongmen, and we all
What drew you to like that's, I don't know, like, anybody who knows me, I'm a personal trainer, I'm really strong, but I don't know, that would never enter my mind to do those feats of strength. I mean, was it something you were brought up with? Like, your parents did it? Like, I don't know. What drew you to that kind of strength?
And you talked about adversities. And when you first asked, I was like, I don't have adversities, but we all have adversities. But when I was a child, my biological father was an alcoholic and he ran off. I never met him. However, it's not a sad story. So I look at it as overcoming adversity because I was raised by my grandparents. So they, made it through the Great Depression. My grandpa was born in 1920. He went to go be with the Lord a few years ago, but he lived to be 92 years old. And he actually levered a sledgehammer. So you have a sledgehammer in your hand and you lever it using your wrist to your nose. And I remember that as a child. And I was a really big pro wrestling fan. So when I was a little kid, I watched pro wrestling with my grandfather, and some of the characters were larger than life. You know, Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, the Road Warriors, Sting, Lex Luger.
I know Hulk Hogan, but that's about it. That's
so
about it.
Those posters on the wall. So I had posters of pro wrestlers on my wall. I played with He-Man action figures when I was a kid. So He-Man was really big. And of course, he was jacked up. He had muscles and veins sticking out everywhere. And, you know, it's larger than life. You don't see people like that walking on the street, really. But, you know, in your mind, it's a comic book that has come to life. So as a child, I was always drawn to things like that were kind of over the top, you know. And I think every boy and some girls are, you know, they love superhero mythology. You look at the superhero movies are some of the, you know, greatest movies of all time, and definitely big box office. So really it drew me to that. I started lifting weights when I was about 12 years old, and I lifted in the basement, and my mother would count my reps for me. So people would say, "Oh man, that's really dorky," but it's very sweet. So, you know, I would
very sweet. Oh my God. I wouldn't even do that for my son. Well, maybe I would, but.
And I was skinny. I was a picky eater. So I'd be lifting weights in the basement, and my mom would be like my cheerleader, and she'd be like, "You can do it, Tim. You can do it," you know. And I wish
that's great. That's so great.
I wish I had it on tape, because really, even though I was a skinny kid and a picky eater, my mom was always, of course, my biggest fan, as she should be. And then I joined a gym. I was probably 13, 14 years old, and throughout high school, I worked at that gym one day a week, cleaning the whole gym, and they had a hot tub and a swimming pool, and I had to clean that and vacuum everything, you know, wash every, you know, machine in the building. And really that built a work ethic for lifting. So I knew that I was trading out my time 3 hours a week to get a free membership. So, you know, I've paid my dues, you know, in the world of weightlifting and physical culture. I've competed in powerlifting as an adult, of course, competitive strongman, grip sport, which is actually using your grip strength to lift various items off the ground. I just recently competed in arm wrestling. I've competed in jiu-jitsu, so probably like 5 different disciplines. And even I love pro wrestling. And while I was 18, 19 years old, I actually was in pro wrestling here in Tennessee. So,
wow. Okay, I was going to ask you I forgot you're from Tennessee. Okay.
And I can say that, hey, I give all the glory to God. He has let me go after every dream I've ever wanted, all those things that I just mentioned, including law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement for 20 years. I'm 41 years old now, and I started when I was 20. So I couldn't even legally buy beer when I was in law enforcement.
Wow.
So it's been a 20-year career. It's really been great, and I've loved it, and it was a desire of my heart as a child. And I believe that the Lord will give you the desires of your heart, you know. And
good for
every dream I've ever had, I've been able to go after. So the old-time strongman dream is definitely, you know, one of my favorite dreams of all time. I have to give credit to Dennis Rogers, Iron Tamer Dave Whitley, Pat Povolitis, Hercules, Chris Ryder. There's so many. I don't want to name anybody because I'd be leaving them out. Mike the Machine Bruce.
Where do you think, I have a question. Where do you think all of these followers come from on your TikTok? I mean, you deserve them. I'm just saying, like.
I'll tell you exactly where they come from.
Tell me.
Yes, I got the suggestion from a friend. So, of course, TikTok as a platform, you have to get people's attention immediately. You can't waste time. The first 5 seconds, somebody decides whether they're going to watch your whole video or not. And even then, the attention spans are so short, especially with younger kids and young adults. They'll make a decision very fast to flip because they want to do something else. And, you know, there's some long-term effects to that, which I'm afraid of. It's like I'm afraid people aren't going to be able to sit and watch a good movie because, you know, you keep looking at your phone.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's what I was saying, you guys, audience. Mm-hmm. Every time I have a new person on here, I give them a little spiel before we start recording. And unfortunately, it's like I say, you know, we can't really record more than an hour because people's attention spans are just not there, which is really sad. It's really sad, you know, because
really social media is training us to be that way in a way, you know, however we
But
all
it's good. But it's good in other ways, right? Because we would have never met or
yes,
anything
it's
like that.
not a complete negative at all, and I really enjoy TikTok. But getting back to, you know, how I got my followers, honestly, the giveaways. People, what's in it for me? People want giveaways. So I started bending hammers, frying pans, horseshoes, big steel bars. I bend bars into pretzels, all kinds of different shapes. And my friend Stan Saley said, Tim, why don't you just, you know, come out of your pocket $5 and mail some of these things to people? He said, just randomly pick somebody, because sometimes I will sell them on TikTok. So I've sold like a hammer that I bent for $50. You know, somebody just wanted the hammer. So he said, why don't you just give away some of this stuff? So like a 12-inch spike, and I bend it into a U shape, and then I will randomly select somebody. I will do the giveaway, and I'll usually bend it on camera, and I'll say, guys, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm going to select somebody this Friday. In the messages, TikTok needs interaction. So what you do is you have them put what state they are from in the message. Or, you know, it was really a way to get people to follow me on Instagram too. So I'd say, to be eligible for the giveaway, you have to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and type both in the comments. You have to give them directions for something to do. And the algorithm of TikTok sees that people are interacting with you, people are following you, and people are, you know, just having that back and forth with you. That's why I really try to answer every message that's positive.
I know you do. And that's what makes you so great, because, and I'm with my measly 7,000 followers, which I cherish. I cherish each and every one of them. But my question, yes, it wasn't really about like, how did you get all those followers? It's more like, what makes it about you that there's so many people who are interested in seeing somebody bend like me. I've always been into fitness and stuff, but I don't know. It just seems like a very
it's a niche.
Different kind of thing. I don't know. That's what I mean. But I also think it's because you're so nice, and you do try to answer people, which is amazing, because what my point was, I do answer everybody, of course, but sometimes I'll spend like 45 minutes to an hour if it's a really good post, and then I have a lot of people. I want to make sure that I don't just put a heart or whatever. For people like you with 250,000 followers, I don't know how you would even, it would take days.
It can. I was actually lucky enough. I did a chain breaking video where I broke a chain, and it really took off, and it got 7 million views, and it got 1 million likes. So it is the first video that I've ever gotten 1 million likes on one video. And I answered almost everybody. If you go in the comments, like, I answered almost every single person and there was thousands of comments. And I just took. And what I will do is, because that sounds like, man, that's a waste of time, you know, versus,
no,
you know,
I don't think so.
However, I can listen to a podcast the same time that I do that. So I can listen to a podcast that I love and answer these things, and my brain can be listening to the podcast or a book on tape while I go in the comments and answer everybody in a nice way. And a lot of times people just want an emoji, a heart or a flex or a flame or a smiley face. But I will call them by name. You know, if their name is Derek, I'll say, thank you so much, Derek. It doesn't take me a second to write Derek. And it really makes them do it. I've had people do that. If I say, thank you, Derek, I really appreciate you, immediately Derek will follow me. And because I named his name. People love to hear.
And you've done it for me. You were very genuine with me.
Yes.
I sent you a couple of yoga videos, which are now on YouTube, by the way.
Awesome.
On my channel. Yeah, so I posted them on there. A different one than you have, so you might be interested in them. Couple yin and restorative. But that's what I mean, audience, listeners. Tim is genuine. He really is. I mean, he's just a nice guy. Just a nice guy. And what you're doing, I mean, we're going to get into this, obviously, what you're doing for the kids, because that's a beautiful thing. So.
But really, going back to how I got my followers, interaction and giveaways. So, you know, it's what's in it for me. People look at it and they say, immediately when I go on, another thing, and you do this a lot, you shoot your videos outside. I think sunlight is very good for videos because you need brightness. You'll see a lot of videos that don't get a lot of views on TikTok. It's in the dark. or it's in the dark in the room with bad lighting. I've got some sunshine coming in behind me today, but you know, sometimes I'd be outside, but I'd sweat to death today because it's kind of hot here in Tennessee.
Okay.
If I bend something outside, I will wear a bright shirt. So today I'm wearing navy blue. I will wear red, yellow, or orange, something that gets attention immediately. And I'll say, hey, I'm doing a giveaway. You guys want this frying pan? I'm about to bend it right now, and I'm going to give it to you. You could win this. And when
Tim.
When they hear that in the first 5 seconds and they see the brightness of my shirt and the brightness of the sun, and then I'm positive, and then they start interacting with me and I'm answering them and trying to call them by name, they're like, wow, nobody does this, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
That's how you do
I
it.
have nothing really to give away.
You could give away a 1 month coaching program or 1 month of training or
true.
Yeah, you can, there's always something, you know, because
I'm
it's like you just got to get creative and think, you know, what can I give away? You know, there's so many things, you know.
You called me out, you duetted me, or you said something with you know, the quality of the food, because I'm a nutritional counselor.
Yeah.
So I don't hand somebody a diet and say, okay, this is what you're going to eat. I go by what they're eating, and then I revamp the way they like to eat with that, whatever they can afford, better quality food, all of that. So you put that on your page, which I don't know. I was just like, this guy is so sweet. This guy is so nice. Got him having him on my podcast. And you were like, yeah, I'll be on your podcast. Anyway, so everybody follow him. Not that he needs the follows, but, you know, follow him. And go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So really that's it on getting views and getting viewers. Just put out positive content that's interactive. I don't argue with trolls. One of the best things to do, if somebody's a troll, they're taking time out of their day to argue with you. You still got me here?
Come back. Yeah,
okay.
No, there we are.
We are. Sorry. But if somebody is taking time out of their day to put you down, you know, to argue with you, there's people who have called me fat, you know. I'm 6 foot. I weigh about 290. So I am heavy, but it's like, you know, I'm not morbidly obese. However, you know, there's people who said, oh, you got a belly, you know, that kind of thing. You just delete it immediately. So I delete somebody and block them, you know, not because I have sensitive skin. I can take anything, you know. In law enforcement, I've taken all kinds of, you know, disrespect and whatnot over the years. However, you know, if somebody is taking time to be a troll, they have no good intentions. They are trying to bring you down. So I tell people this all the time. Ignore them. Not just ignore them. You delete the comment, because your good followers that you're interacting with in a good way, they don't need to take time out of their day to read that negative comment. So I delete the comment. And I've had people argue with me and say, no, you need to keep all the comments in there because the algorithm wants you to have more interaction, positive and negative. No. If you come to my site or my TikTok, it's going to be all positive, and there's not going to be a single person talking negativity on there because they get blocked.
I love you. I love you, Tim.
It's great because it's like a weight off your shoulders. It's just a weight off your shoulders.
For me though, I've gotten some, not hardly any, because I'm not whatever. But for me, I just feel like that I feel sorry for people who have to do that. I feel like they're hurting.
Yes.
And I always respond in a positive way. Yeah. Which may be wrong, but no, maybe I should delete. Like my kids say, Ma, just delete it. You know, just delete it. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I know me and I know my intention, and you got to just love yourself, Tim. And now I'm not disagreeing with you, because we all do things differently, but just feel like if you are doing the right thing and you love yourself, those things aren't going to bother you at all, because they're the ones hurting. You know, they took the time out to do it.
It doesn't bother me, but then I look at it from the aspect of they don't even deserve to be on the page. I hate to say it. And my good followers that are taking their time to read my stuff, they don't need to read it either. It serves no legitimate. And it's just one of those things where it leads to nowhere good, and you'll never straighten anybody out.
No. I'm not looking to straighten anybody out. I just reply which ends up them
Yeah.
either getting mad or like fighting back. And then at that point, well, I've never had anybody come back after I did a response, but honestly, I feel
Yeah.
bad for them if they have to take the time out to do something like that when my intentions are always good on
Yes.
TikTok.
But then I had to
So.
learn, they're not going to have an epiphany and be sorry or try to, make it right or anything like that.
Right,
So
right, 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 right.
I can actually delete the comment and block them in probably 10 or 15 seconds. So it's a
True.
lot better.
Very true. Very true. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
Okay.
saying the way I do it. If somebody was really, really harsh, I
Yeah.
probably would block because I'm very sensitive too. But you know, so keep going.
Yeah. So, of course, the
So
pandemic.
what led you to like working with kids? How many kids do you have?
Me and my girlfriend together, we have 7 kids all together. Now,
I didn't know that.
3 of them are grown. So 3 of them are grown, and I'm actually a grandfather. I was a grandfather last year at 40 years old. So, and I have 2 grandbabies. I have 2 granddaughters. So I became a grandfather at 40, and I became a father at 19. So I was young when I started. So I was a
Wow. So I didn't know you had 7 kids. I think I've only seen like the one boy maybe with the
yep,
blonde hair
we've
lifting
got
weights and then
we've got 7.
oh,
Yep, we've got 7 altogether.
together, you and your
Uh,
girlfriend?
well, separately but together. You know what I mean? All together, like
So
both of
okay.
her and I
Cool.
have.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Wow.
but 3 are grown in college, and one is a senior in high school, so it's all ages. It's ages 12.
Wow.
So the youngest is 12,
Wow.
21.
Wow.
Mhm.
So what led you to do what you're doing? I mean, you're a cop and then you're still practicing. You said you're still practicing being a
Yep.
cop, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then, but then these strongman shows or whatever, going to school, I don't know what gave you that idea to do
Yes.
that.
My mentor, Dennis Rogers, he's been all
Oh,
over the world, performed in at probably every continent. He's performed in Europe, Japan, everywhere. So he's been all over the world, and I was able to do these feats, and it is a niche of a niche. It's a very small group, and I hang out with magicians a lot of times. Even what they do is sleight of hand, and what I do is legitimate feats of strength. However, we're both getting up in front of a crowd, and we are speaking and trying to hook people into our story by using a magic trick or a feat, and sometimes old time strongmen want to completely stay away from magicians because they don't want people to think what they're doing is fake. So,
okay.
but I hang out with them a lot because of showmanship and whatnot. So, there are many magicians all over the world who are very successful that you've never heard of, and they perform 200 shows a year. Last year I performed 50 shows a year, and that was a record for me. So that was almost one a week. And the pandemic slowed me down, but really my goal is to perform 100 to 200 shows a year. So, it'll be a lot more, but I believe I can do it. And, I'm excited for it, but the pandemic slowed me down. But I actually have 2 shows coming up this weekend. I have a show in Shelbyville, Tennessee on Friday night, and a show in Jasper, Tennessee on Saturday at 2 p.m.
And
So,
these are both for children. I,
well, the first one is for Celebrate Recovery, a group at a church, and they're recovering and they're staying drug free, and I'm giving them some motivation, and that's going to be adults, but they may have a few children there from their family. And the next one will be a Jesus Jam event, which is a Christian event where there'll be gospel singing, snow cones, all kinds of stuff, and it's going to be on Nickajack Lake, and it's going to have a stage, and I'll be there all day, but I go on at 2:00, and it'll be giving all the glory to God. So I do church shows where I give all the glory to God, and then I do school assembly shows where elementary and middle school I concentrate on bullying, anti-bullying, and then for high school I still do bullying, but I do suicide prevention and substance abuse also. So
and how do you intertwine? Like, what is the reaction for? I mean, what are the ages of the kids that you normally go and do these shows, and what are their reactions? Like,
every age,
what are the
honestly.
positive feedback that you've gotten to? Like, what's your main goal in the
Yes.
whole show? Tell me.
Yeah. To inspire, and and to teach kindness. For bullying, it's like I'm promoting kindness is what I'm trying to do, and
But
being.
how do you do that through your strength with the show? Like, how do you do it? I'm sorry if I'm like, like, do you have a set show that you do, like a script?
I have had a script, and I do have a script that's pretty much in my memory. However, for breaking the monotony for me and to have fun, I try things that sometimes I've never done before. This coming weekend, and I'm going to try 3 things, which is really a lot. Most entertainers would tell you not to try 3 things that you've never done before, but I'm going to try 3 things that I've never done before in a show. I know that I can do them because I've done in rehearsal, but it's something. There's so many things to change. A lot of performers can have a routine and do the exact same thing over and over. However, that bores me to tears, and I like interaction. I like to throw out activities for the crowd, like, if you believe that, give me an amen. Or if you've ever felt bullying, raise your hand. When you get people to raise their hand or chant something or just clap, it keeps them engaged. So you have to have activities. And I learned that from Sean Stevenson, who is one of the best speakers I've ever heard. So
Sean, wait. Sean Stevenson. Is he the one who passed away?
yes.
The little doctor,
Yeah,
the doctor. I love him. I
he's
loved him.
he's amazing.
Oh my God. When I was feeling down about myself, man, because I don't know if you know my story. I mean, my story, I'm almost deaf. I was sexually abused, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has a story, and feeling down. And I came across Sean on Facebook probably about 10 years ago, I want to
Yeah.
say.
Yes.
And I was sobbing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have no right now. Believe me, you go back and forth. But that guy was awesome. Oh my God.
He's really the best speaker, and as far as speaking goes, he's the best coach. He was the best coach ever. He changed the entire show. I'll tell you how he changed it. One time I was on a video call with him, quite like this. So he said, Tim, he said, what I'm thinking is, he said, these kids, they love what you do and they love what you give them when you bend something. But he said, they want to bend something too. And he said, what I'm visualizing, as he said, I'm visualizing these kids bending a spoon. He said, is there any way you could give them a spoon and have them bend a spoon the way you bend spikes and wrenches? And I said, Sean, that is perfect. So I did it, of course, and I even incorporated it last year in our National Night Out event where where the community meets police officers. And I had a giant stuffed animal that was a pink gorilla, and I brought a kid on stage, and I said, if you bend this spoon, you get to keep this pink gorilla. So he bent the spoon and won the gorilla. And people want to see somebody win. So I tried in my shows, and going back to your previous question, you've got to hook them. You've got to have something good in the beginning of the show to hook their attention, and they have to know that you're there to have a good time and to entertain. So a very simple question that hardly any entertainer ever asks, and it's the perfect question, and it just fell on me one day. I said, guys, I want to have fun. Do you guys want to have fun? And everybody screamed yes. And it brought chills to me. I was like, okay. I said, well, we're going to have fun. Do you guys want me to bend the frying pan or the horseshoe first? And I said, if you want me to bend the frying pan, say frying pan. And they chant frying pan. Right there, I've already got them. I've got them because they've already chanted with me and they're interacting with me. But I let them know right off the bat, I'm here to have fun, guys. Like, we're going to talk about some serious stuff. But at the same time, I want there to be interaction. I'm serving you guys. We're going to have a great time, and I'm going to lift some of you guys that are willing. I'm going to lift you above my head. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have fun. I'm going to put you on my shoulder and carry you. We'll do all kinds of stuff, So like, it's like the Wild Wild West. There's anything can happen. You know what I mean?
So you go all around United States to do these shows. Like last year before COVID. You did all over. And also, are you like hired from the school as a cop doing strongman? Okay, because I know that cops will come and do the anti-bully stuff and
I have done that. So for me, that's an area where, you know, so I work at Bedford County Sheriff's Office in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and I will do all the shows here, of course, for free, you know, because it's part of my job as a sheriff's officer. But when I go out, of course, you know, I'll charge, of course. And I've performed in here in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and I performed in Arizona for Sean Stevenson. So 2 years ago,
So
Sean
you met him? Did you meet him personally?
Yes, I went to his speaking seminar, 10K speeches, 2 years in a row, in 2018 and 2019, and in 2008.
I just want to say, you guys, if you ever need inspiration, he has passed away. He, what was his disease? I don't even know the name of what he had, but he was
osteogenesis imperfecta, I believe, is
okay.
Where your bones
And
break.
and he was an MD, right? I think he was an MD.
He's definitely he's a therapist for sure, and I don't want to misquote exactly, you know.
I thought, yeah, I'm not sure either, but I thought he might have been an MD, but he was such an inspiration. And like I said to Tim, I started getting down on myself, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah.
So look him up.
One of his main messages is self-care. You know, you have to take care of yourself. It's like in the airport when they tell you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself before you can put the oxygen mask on yourself. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to identify what you enjoy to do, whether it's things that you do like journaling, meditation, yoga. With me, it's lifting weights, you know, going for a walk, you know, praying. So whatever we need to get back on track, that's what we need to do. And we can't forget that we have to take care of ourselves.
Well, my motto is, and it's not my motto, I mean, it's been said many, many times by many people, you have to be selfish to be selfless.
Yeah.
You definitely do. I mean, I'm very selfish with my care, because I'm not a nice person if I don't take care of myself. And that includes my meditation, my yoga, my walking in nature, my exercise in the gym, my nutrition, you know, because if I don't eat, well, you know it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Wow. So what has been the feedback? Have you gotten any special letters or anything from anybody?
It's amazing, actually. I get, you know, every time I do a show, I'll get private messages. You know, I've had people send me gifts to my house. You know, it's like they'll go back and forth with me, and I'll give them a PO box. You know, and it's like there's all kinds of feedback, and just, you know, people giving you messages, kids drawing things for me. You know, there's just so many things, and it really never ends. It's really a huge honor and a privilege to even do it. And I do believe that it's been my destiny to meet Dennis Rogers, and it's also been my destiny to meet Sean Stevenson. So, but Dennis is really the greatest performing strongman of all time. He's not a big guy, you know, he's probably 5'8", 5'9", 168 pounds, and he can bend things that I can't bend. So size doesn't matter. I tell people that size doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. There's men that are older than me that can do things that I can't do, and I'm 41. So, you know, Dennis is in his 60s and he can do things I can do. There's a man in his 80s named Slim the Hammerman who was also a mentor to Dennis, and he can lever the sledgehammers like I was talking about. He can lever things that I cannot lever, and he's 82 years old. So age doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter.
I believe that too. Have you met? You haven't met Dennis? You have not met him?
I have, yes.
You have. Okay.
I went to Texas this year again and spent time with him.
Okay.
And I first met him in 2008 in person, but I had been coaching, you know, he'd been coaching me for about a year at that point. And, you know, throughout the years, of course, but we actually flew to Houston, Texas this year and I spent a few days with Dennis to sit under the learning tree and learn some more.
And that was the best thing in your whole life?
He can, a very small thing, like I said, even the Sean Stevenson telling me about getting the kid to bend a spoon, one thing can change your whole presentation. one word can change your whole presentation. One sentence can change your whole presentation, and one idea can change your whole show. So, there's just so much to learn. It never ends. And just like I study jujitsu and arm wrestling, it never ends. There's always something to learn. There's always something to learn in yoga. You could live for, 200 years and not know everything about yoga and not know everything about performing strongman and being a public speaker. Learning never ends, and it's fun to be a lifelong learner. And everything that we go after in life, every activity that we do, it's endless amount of learning. So it just keeps changing and getting better. So I've done it for a long time now, and I'm still getting better. So, I'm really enjoying it.
You got a lot of years left, hon. You got a lot of years left. Like yoga, you always come to the mat as a beginner. Always come to the mat as a beginner. Has TikTok changed your life?
It has, in a way. It did show me, I knew what I was doing is important. I already knew that, but it gave me a better interaction with people. And, it's just showed me how much people love it. And it also reminded me as a performer and as a speaker that you have to get people's attention very quickly. And so it's a microcosm of society, really, because you have bullying on TikTok. You got people who are just running through being bullies, and just like you have in real life. And you have to get people, when you're a public speaker, you have to get their attention immediately. People decide whether they're going to listen to you in the first few seconds. It can be, and it's just our brain. It's how our brain works. We judge, you know what I mean? We judge.
Yeah.
Is this worth my time? That's the judgment. This guy worth my time? What's he talking about? What does he want to do? And that's why it's better to have an interaction with them. And the same thing on TikTok. I want interaction with people. I don't want to just put it up and forget about it. So, I ask a question on TikTok. Sometimes it's better just to ask questions of your audience and see what they think. Just have that interaction. And you got to have that when you're a performer and a speaker. You have to have the people in the palm of your hand. Talking about Sean Stevenson, I had never heard anybody, and I'm a big Tony Robbins fan, and Tony Robbins was a mentor to Sean. But when I went to Sean's seminar in Phoenix, Arizona, in 2018, I went 2018 and 19, but in 2018, Sean made everybody laugh. He made everybody cry, and he made everybody rethink their life. And when he made everybody cry, he told a very sad story, but he also used the theatrics of turning the lights down low and putting a spotlight on himself. And he told his story, and it will bring chill bumps on your arm. And I was thinking, what the hell is happening to me right now? Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand that a person can have that much impact. And it was just,
oh God, I think I know what you're talking about, because I just got the chills, and that was on YouTube. That was a talk.
yes.
Like,
And
you guys have to look this guy up, Sean Stevenson. Such a great guy. Oh my God.
He is wonderful, and he's my all-time favorite speaker as far as speaking goes. I even rank him above Tony Robbins, and I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. I love the energy and positivity of Tony. I've listened to so much Tony Robbins over the years. However, Sean really is my favorite. And it's not even really a comparison. Like, I don't even like to compare people who's better. It's just Sean has that way of reaching into your heart, and he'll grab it, and he's not going to let it go. So
He's not. He's not. Oh my God. I got to go and watch him again. There's a reason why you said him, because sometimes, I'm human. Sometimes I feel down, and I probably just have to watch some Sean Stevenson today to lift me up again.
Everybody.
I really enjoyed this talk with you, Tim.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to share before you part? I want you to give the audience and the listeners some words of wisdom, and but before that, if there's anything we haven't touched upon that you want to share.
Yeah. Mainly just follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Strongmanstorytelling. And I really appreciate everyone for doing that. And then the words of wisdom come straight out of the Bible. It's the greatest commandment, and that's love one another. You see all the pain in the world right now, And there's so much division, and the media is causing a lot of this division because, you know, they love clicks and they love money. So, you know, it's a money driven world, and the media is putting out all this information, and people are hurting, and people are trying to hurt each other, and we need to love one another. So, you know, we need love, we need God's love. And, you know, we need to stop being so selfish and love one another. You know, you got to love your brother and sister. So
I love it.
That's the
love
great
it.
of them all. So
I love it. And people can get, do you have like a link tree under your?
And I do have a website that's coming at strongmanstorytelling.com, but it's not ready yet. And
okay, so I'm just going to put your TikTok information then, right?
Yeah. TikTok and Instagram,
okay.
Exact same thing, Strongman Storytelling.
Okay, I will have that in the show notes. Hang out for 1 second. So everybody, put your plugs in if you've heard me before, but I give out my Google number. If anybody wants to be on the show, give me any feedback, or just text me. 609-429-4058. All this information will be in the show notes. I always talk about the Rawr Bar. I am not sponsored by the Rawr Bar. I am an ambassador and an affiliate. It is the only packaged good I eat. It is vegan, but it's good for any diet. It is protein packed with 19 to 21 grams of protein a bar, 11 organic ingredients, all organic except for the almond butter, which they're trying to make organic. 11 to 13 net carbs, no artificial sweeteners, put together by coconut oil, sweetened by coconut nectar, blackstrap molasses, and some Himalaya salt. 10% of their net proceeds go to feed the hungry children worldwide, which I just love about the company. And owned by Jake and Rachel, very young married couple, based out of Minnesota. Please, if you're going to buy, please buy from the affiliate link that I am posting below. That helps me, and it also helps them. And on that note, thank you, Tim Fox, for being here with me. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful and blessed day, everybody.